Thank you, Steph. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited today to talk about DataDev Day. It's an event that we have been working on for the last couple of months now, and excited to see it coming to life. So know before you go DataDev edition. So we also have DataDev Day going, but we also have the DataDev Hackathon. So I'm going to share all the tips and tricks that you can apply if you also participate to the DataDev Hackathon. First, I'm Geraldine Zanolli. I go by Gigi. I'm a developer advocate and a product manager at Tableau. My personal mission is to enable Tableau developers or Tableau server admin that want to integrate and extend Tableau's capabilities. So today, just a quick little nice giveaway at the end of the session. If you want to bring back Flex home, and if you want to have Flex at home, you can actually win it at the end of this webinar. We are going to have one question for you at the end. And if you get it right and first, you can bring Flex with T-Rex at home. So first, what is the Tableau Developer Platform? I think that's important to get into context about DataDev Day and the DataDev Hackathons. What are people working on and what are the different APIs that we are working on? In the first part of the presentation, I'm going to talk about the conference itself, and I'm going to go in more details at the end about use cases. But here is an overview of what we are talking about when we talk about Tableau developer tools and APIs. We have categorized all our APIs in 5 different buckets, depending on the use cases of each APIs and developer tools. Automation and integration allow you to automate tedious tasks or manage Tableau workflow that might be difficult for Tableau users, earning time back on your day. Extensibility allows you to extend the Tableau capabilities, do more with Tableau workbooks. Like really, what you can think about extensibility is only the sky is your limit there. Advanced analytics is when you want to integrate Tableau with advanced models in R or Python or any machine learning algorithm that you have. Embedding allows you to embed Tableau capability inside your web application, your portal, or any application that might be your main application. Then we have data connectivity that allow you to connect to non-native data sources or data. So think about all the data sources that you want to visualize in Tableau. So what is DataDev? And what we call it DataDev Day, DataDev Hackathons, but what is actually a DataDev? I think that's also interesting to take a step back and think about what are you a DataDev? What is a DataDev? So the DataDev audience is a really diverse audience. You can think about anyone that are using our APIs or developer tools to integrate or extend Tableaus. But that are the 2 different variants of DataDev. We have a dashboard creator, the power users that want to do more with Tableau, is spending his life or his day work in Tableau, and he wants to extend the capability of dashboards. He's challenged by issue that he might have with his dashboard or anything like that. And he wants to use APIs to be able to do more with Tableau. Then we have a Tableau server admin, and his first task when it's about APIs and developer tools is automate Tableau or create custom workflow, integrating Tableau in this custom workflow. Is managing the Tableau server or the Tableau online site and wants to get time back on his day. Then you have the Tableau partners that integrate their services with Tableau. You want Tableau to be part of their offering. And then we have a developer that wants to customize Tableau to fit their company needs. And what do they have all in common? They all love Flex the T-Rex, our mascot, and they are all at the end integrated in part of a developer program and want to give more to the community. And that's what is a DataDev. And you're not a DataDev if you're not part of a Tableau developer program. So what is the Tableau Developer Program? It's a safe space to innovate and learn. You get a free development site to learn about our APIs and developer tools. And this site is set to the last pre-release version of Tableau. So if you want to test APIs or developer tools before anyone else, that's a great place. You also get access to the engineering team. So entire connection, you can ask questions, give feedback. The engineering team is there to listen to you and what are your use cases. You are going to be the first one to know about all the different development tools or development APIs that we have out there. Because not only the developer site is with the last pre-release version of Tableau, but you also get invitations to the monthly sprint demos. That is, a sprint demos is 1 hour meeting that we have once a month where project managers and developers show what they have been working on and what's coming next for developers. And you're not only joining a program, you're joining a community of passionate developers that are here to help you and get you started. So we have a Slack channel, a Slack workspace with developers there. We have hackathons. We have a lot of different events going on that allow you to connect with other members of the community. And as a Tableau developer program, we also like fun learning experience. So you can wake up your T-Rex that is only in you. Just a parenthesis, now you saw a lot of slides with T-Rexes. You can see in my background, I have Flex the T-Rex. And the question I have often is, where is the T-Rex coming from and why is the mascot of the Tableau Developer Program? I don't know if many of you on this call, on this webinar, know that, but T-Rex come from T for Tableau, EX for extensions, and R to make it a T-Rex. That's how we got to Flex the T-Rex, our mascot. So now let's talk about Data Dev Day. That's going to be this Thursday and is the first Tableau ever conference for developers, built by developers, by data dev, for data dev. So one day dedicated event for anyone interested in the Tableau developer platform, in learning about technically how it works, but also to get inspired about how to use Tableau developer tools and APIs. And non-developers are also welcome. We have high-level sessions that are just there to inspire other people to use our APIs and developer tools inside the organization or inside the team. So don't worry if you're not a developer, you will find some interesting session as well there for you. So we have 3 tracks during the day. So we start at 8:30. We have a half-an-hour keynote with project announcements. So don't miss the keynote. I think, where are you all based? Are you based in the UK? I think that will be the end of your day for you, but don't miss the keynote at 8:30. And you get project announcement. We also have some surprises there. And then we have the 3 tracks: Tech Deep Dive, Data Dev Foundation, and Enterprise Deployment. So Data Dev Foundation gives you, has its name, foundation, the basics of how to get started with APIs. They are kind of high level and give you all the basics to be a data dev. Enterprise deployment is if you want to use APIs and developer tools in a production environment inside your organization. It can be enterprise or not. And we have the last one, Tech Deep Dives, that goes in more details on specific APIs or developer tools. So we have various of sessions. They are between 20 to 25 minute sessions long. And you have sessions talking about Bitcoin, how you can bring Bitcoin data in Tableau, how to use webhooks, or how to use the Metadata API to build a data dictionary, or Extension API, how to use it to get started. It's so many sessions. I went to almost all the dry runs, so I cannot tell you how awesome are the sessions, how much you are going to enjoy the sessions. We also have a live Ask Me Anything with project managers. So that's a great place to ask questions to the project manager directly in a live environment. We have one on connectivity. The first one is on connectivity, and the second one is going to be on embedding and extensibility. And then at the end of the day, we have the women in data dev panel. So we have 5 awesome women that are data devs that are going to talk about their journey and tell you more about how they became data dev. Really excited for that as well. We have opened up already the brain dates. So if you're not familiar with the brain dates, is meetings or events. Meetings can be one-on-one, or you can be up to 5 people in one conversations. You can have your webcam on and off, but it's really to connect to other people on various topics. You can submit your own topics. So you can go in and say, okay, I want to talk about extension API or how to get started. You can open a brain date there, but you can also join a brain date that is already happening. So the one we have on the screen, for example, we have someone from Salesforce talking about how you can embed Tableau inside Salesforce, or Kisha that's talking about extensions. So you can join today this brain date and have time with product managers and developers, but also other people from the community. And it doesn't need to be a technical topics. You can talk about beers or your hobbies. It's really a place for you to connect with other people all in a more virtual environment. So you can already register. We are going to open the brain date 24 hours before the event and just after the event as well, 24 hours until like 24 hours after the event. So if you want to connect with other people, that's a great place to get to know other data devs. And I mean, I can tell you how much I'm excited about Data Dev Day, how much I'm looking forward for Data Dev Day, but what not hear it from other community members. So I'm going to play this video and hear why you should be excited about Data Dev Day. Let me know if the sound works for you.
I can't hear the sound.
Ah.
No.
Let me double check. If not, I can send you the link of the sound. Share sound. I think it's that. Let me try again.
Yeah, all good.
I am
Good, perfect.
definitely going to be attending Data Dev Day. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited that it's going to be the first conference that's been purely for the data devs.
Yeah, the thing I'm most looking forward to at Data Dev Day is to see what everyone else has to offer. There's so much I don't know about the data dev, like the various APIs even.
One of the sessions I'm excited about when it comes to incoming Data Dev Day is the one about Tableau Analytics Extension API. It's all about how to combine machine learning and Tableau together.
I'm looking forward most to seeing what everyone else is doing at Data Dev Day. So I'm curious to see what other people are doing in related or also completely different areas.
So now you heard it from me, but you heard it also from the community, why you should join us for Data Dev Day on May 20th. Sessions, live panels with data dev, with project managers, women in data dev. We have a lot of different exciting opportunity for you to learn and get inspired by our APIs and developer tools. Oh, perfect. So now that's Data Dev Day and what you can expect from a first day events. I also want to talk about the Data Dev Hackathon that is going on. We started it on April 5th and it's going until June 1st. So usually we have this big hackathon all together during the Tableau conference. It's actually the first day of Data Dev of TC. We have this big conference, this big hackathon where we all get together, the mentors, the hackers, and we are in a room, we get excited, we are working, we are building code. And I mean, as we all know, it's going to be virtual this year. We didn't do it last year. This year, we decided to go virtual with our hackathons. So what can you expect? We run already APIs workshops every Thursday between April and May. So you can, if you want to join, we all posted all the recording already on our developer portal. So you can have a look at all the previous workshops and learn how to use all our APIs. That's all the basics of APIs. We also have a dedicated Spotify playlist because why not? We all know that when we are building code and building innovations, we need to have some good music to keep going. And we also have different giveaways during these hackathons. We are going to give away some socks with our new Data Flex, the T-Rex we can see on the top left. So the first one to Slack us, for example, on the first hackathon submissions will get a swag bag with a lot of different swags. So you have until May 1st to submit your hackathons, and that's also the prices. So if you win the hackathon, you will get 2,500 in cash. We're also going to give some money to your nonprofit organization, your favorite nonprofit organizations, and give away e-learning and swag bags. So that's all the prices of if you are selected as the winner of the DataDev Hackathon. And if you don't have any coding skills, but you still want to participate, you have until June 1st, so you still have time to participate. You can help team to brainstorm. And if you are Tableau users, that's a great place. You know what is your scope, where people find challenging, what they found challenging, where they are struggling. So that's a great place to be and join a team that might be more in having technical skills, being able to help them brainstorm on new hackathon ideas, on new hack they can build. You can also be their alpha tester because they maybe came up with a hack and they're almost ready to submit it. But did they actually test it with someone else, with Tableau users? You can reach out to them and say, hey, I can see that you are building that for the hackathon. Do you want me to test it and give you feedback before you submit your hack? Or do you want me to help you doing the pitch? Because you have to submit a 3-minute video about your hackathon. So that's also a place where you can help. It's like, oh, I can help you get the speech right, or I can help you test it to see if, as a Tableau user, is actually answering to my needs. And if you have no coding skills, that's okay too. You can participate and actually learn about APIs and how to get started. It doesn't need to be the perfect hack the first time, but if you're like, okay, I'm going to participate to this hackathon, I have these ideas, and I have 1 month now, a little bit less than a month now, have two weeks, I think, for now. You have 2 weeks, and I'm just going to try, just trying, and I say, okay, I might just start with an embedding page. I can do more and more and more. And who knows, maybe you are going to build an awesome hack by starting by a little project, a little hackathon. And maybe you're not going to win the hack this year, but at least you participated, and you might come up next year with a bigger project because you learn and you know how to get started now. So I really encourage you, even if you don't have any coding skills, to participate in the hackathon. So now I talked about the events and what you can expect from DataDev Day, the DataDev Hackathon, and how you can participate. I'm also going to post the link at the end about all the different resources I talked about. But I thought when they asked me to do the know before you go for DataDev Day and for the DataDev Hackathons, I thought about giving you the right tools and the knowledge to get the most of DataDev Day. So even like building new schedules, which session you should attend. And I think for that, having a basic understanding of what is the Tableau developer platform, and also mostly focusing on the use cases. So today I'm not going to go and show you code, but I just want to give you a basic understanding of the Tableau developer platform and all the different use cases. So once you are attending DataDev Day or you are participating to the DataDev Hackathons, you have that as a baggage to participate. So let me talk about the DataDev Day and the different use cases for DataDev Day. So we already talked about the 5 buckets earlier today, but today let's go with a journey of someone that is actually using Tableau. where to get started. When you open Tableau, the first thing you do is connect to data. But what if you don't have any connectors? You want to connect to your system, your database, and you don't find your connector in the list of the connectors there. How to get started? So that's where data connectivity is useful. So you have 3 options for data connectivity: Web Data Connector, Hyper API, and Connector SDK. The Web Data Connector allows you to connect to any web-based data. Think about Facebook, API, Instagram, or if you are a Strava user, you have an API, but you don't have native connectors in Tableau. So you might want to use the Web Data Connector to connect to your data. Then we have the Hyper API that allows you to create a custom script that pulls your data into Tableau in Extract. And then the Connector SDK that allows you to build a native looking connector in Tableau. So both of them, if you think about the 3 options, how can you actually pick which one for which use cases? So Web Data Connector is web-based data, while the Connector SDK use ODBC and GDBC driver. And the Hyper API is like the Swiss Army knife of the connectivity. You can connect to any web-based, any data sources or APIs. JavaScript API, JavaScript skills are needed for Web Data Connector and Connector SDK. While the Hyper API, you have a variety of languages from C++, Python. And how do you get data up to date? With a Web Data Connector, you can allow refreshes using a Tableau server or Tableau online, and the Connector SDK allows you to connect to it. Works as any other native connectors in Tableau, so you can do refresh with Extract or live connections. And the Hyper API, once you have the script, you're required to run the script every time you need updated data. And Web Data Connector is easy to share with end users by just sharing the URL, while the Connector SDK, you can package all your files in a taco. And the Hyper API, it's a little bit more challenging to share, actually, because you have a script and you might have a dependency with the database you are using or which data you are retrieving. So that's where the Hyper API might be more difficult to share with another user. But that's options, different ways that data dev use the APIs. So once your Hyper API is used when you want to publish a Tableau extract into Tableau. So if you already have this functionality, if you want to build this functionality, you can use the Hyper API. And the Connector SDK enable a database provider to build a connector that is now in the flow of the end users. And the Web Data Connector enable organizations to pull data directly into Tableau to create visualizations. Now let's talk about extensibility. You connected to data, you're building your dashboard. How can you extend the capability of your dashboard? So 2 options, the JavaScript API and the Dashboard Extension API. The JavaScript API lets you display Tableau visualizations inside your web application, while extension enables Tableau user to integrate and interact with data over another application directly inside Tableau. So here the main difference you can think of between the JavaScript API and the Dashboard Extension API. The JavaScript API is when your main application is not Tableau. When your main application is your website, your portal, and you want to bring the power of Tableau inside your application. While Extension API, you are bringing the application inside Tableau. Your Tableau dashboard is your main application, and you want to bring the application inside the Tableau dashboards. So here on the left is an example of a JavaScript API. You have a viz embedded inside your portal, and you can interact between the portal and the visualizations. And on the right side, the radar chart on the bottom right is an extension running, and you can see the 2-way communication. As you know, like the radar chart is possible in Tableau, but might take some time. It might be challenging. So here we use an extension to have radar charts ready for the end users in few clicks. So if you're familiar with the gallery, with the Tableau extension gallery, you might already be familiar with some of the extension that InfoTopics build. We build Show Me More. That's an extension of Show Me with a lot of different visualization types that are not currently even in Show Me or are just not possible in Tableau. Now you have your dashboards and you have your extension, you have embedded it somewhere and you extended the capabilities. Now let's talk about automation and integration, how you can automate and integrate Tableau with custom workflows. So one of the most popular APIs is the REST API that allow you to programmatically do anything that you can already do in Tableau Online or Tableau Server. We can talk about the 3 Ps: provisioning, permission, and publishing. So you have various use cases for the REST API. The most common one is when you want to add new users. You can add in the UI already or importing an Excel spreadsheet users in Tableau. But what if you don't want to go manually import, or every week, every day, you have to do it manually? You can automate the user creation by using the REST API. Here, if you pay attention, it's a really similar slide, is Tableau Server Client TSC. Only has the same use cases than the Tableau REST API. It's just a Python library for the Tableau REST API. Then we have TSM, Tableau Service Manager. That's a server admin command line that allows you to configure Tableau Server. If you want to do backups of your servers and have it up and running, that's how you can use TSM. Then we have a document API that allows you to programmatically modify Tableau files locally, and is really useful when you want to update the connection in your workbook and the name of the database or the username and password. Webhooks allow you to get notified when an event is happening on Tableau Server or Tableau Online. This is really useful when you're not in your emails all day, when you're an extract failing and you are not seeing the extract failing because you're not checking your emails. You can integrate with some services like Slack or Microsoft Teams to get notified in your flow, in your messaging, when something is happening on Tableau Server. Can be also Alexa if you want, but really think about getting notified on things that are happening on Tableau Server and Tableau Online. And Webhooks, I think, is way easier if we actually draw the use cases, what's happening. So you have Webhooks and you have Tableau, and you have this third party. We talked in the use cases, we talk about Slack or Microsoft Teams. So that's you can imagine it's your third party. And your third party is, hey, Tableau, I want to get notified when things happen on Tableau. And Tableau says, sure, I will. I will notify when a user is deleted, when a user is added, or a workbook is updated. You can pick which events you want to get notified for. And then the event is happening on Tableau. Okay, that's happened. I'm going to notify this third party. It can be here, Slack or Microsoft Teams. Hey, I have a new user on my site, and the third party is doing what he needs to do in response to the event. So if we talk about Slack or Microsoft Teams, we are going to notify the user on Slack, hey, Tableau just notified me, we have a new user, you want to check it? That's an example. Then we have a Metadata Api. When you think about Tableau and Tableau Online and Tableau Server, you can think that we have now data sources, workbooks, we have Tableau prep. So, and all these different assets we talk about, all the different assets on Tableau, they are all related to each other. And that's important to understand how they are related to each other. And that's what Metadata API is useful for. You can really see how all the different assets and understand how all the data source, the workbook, how they are related to each other. And it's useful for a Tableau Server admin. You end up with a lot of data sources published on your site or on your server, and you might actually clean up your server to be sure that you have the most accurate content. And you don't want to delete the data source and then receive an email saying, hey, why is my workbook not working anymore? Oh, I'm sorry, I deleted the data source. I thought that we didn't need it. And then you realize you broke 7 workbooks and the one of them is the one from your boss. So you can use the Metadata API to query and say, hey, I'm interested in this data source. Do I have anything linked to this data source, a workbook or a prep flow worksheet or anything that you can think of? So here's information in different ways that our the data dev community use these tools for automation and integrations. We have generated from the information lab, we have used TSC to do some Tableau server housekeeping, making Tableau server housekeeping easy. Interworks use the REST API to embed Tableau inside the portal, or Alatian and til.bi use both the REST API and the Metadata API to integrate Tableau inside their products. Now let's talk about embedding. So now you have your workbook, you're connected to the data, you have the automation and integration figured out. What about embedding? Once you have your workbook, how about bringing this the power of Tableau inside your application? So the JavaScript API, we already mentioned it in extensibility, but you allow you to embed Tableau visualization in your portal and having this two-way communication that is explained with the arrows on the side. Then you have a REST API. So REST API allows you to query users and the permissions of the users. So you want to have all the different users on your portal to be Tableau users as well. And if your main application is not actually a web page, is not a mobile app, you might want to use mobile app bootstraps to bring the power of Tableau visualization inside your mobile app. Last but not least, as data embedded iframe. So you know that you can embed as data directly in your web applications, meaning that the end users can go in your blog, in your portal, and ask questions on your data directly there. Now, advanced analytics, when you want to integrate Tableau with advanced models such as R and Python. We have Python integrations that allow you to do Python script inside your Tableau calculations. So when you think about advanced analytics as an extensibility feature as well, because you're extending the capabilities of your Tableau calculations. So here you pick the functions, the Tableau functions, you write depending, so you script, and after depending on which output you want, you can pick between these 4 different functions. So if you're on string or reals, and what it's going to do is that you can write your Python script and which variables or which data you want to pass to the Python script. What it's going to do is it's going to pass the Python script to a til.bi server that you can set up and sending back the data to visualize them in Tableau. Same with R. Instead of a til.bi server, you're going to use ourselves and passing the data to ourselves. And again, same with MATLAB, but you need a MATLAB server. And our last released API is the Analytic Extension API. And what the Analytic Extension API allows you to do is almost anything, really extending the calculation, Tableau calculation to the highest level. You can integrate with your algorithm, your machine learning algorithm, or if you want to pull data live directly from another data source, another API or web-based data, that's what you need to use for the analytic extension. You need to create, of course, a server having analytic extension and passing the data to and the script to the analytic extension server, and it's going to send you the data back. So that's it for me for today. So that's a quick overview of a Tableau developer platform, on DataDev Day, on the DataDev Hackathons, and also when I talked about the developer portal. But you can find more resources online. I'm going to post like the best way to get started and learn about all these APIs. Even before DataDev Day, you can join us at developer.tableau.com to join the free developer portal. So now I'm going to take some questions.
That's great, thank you. There's so much information in there. But yeah, that was a really great run through. Thank you. We will also put all the links and things to all the resources you've mentioned. We'll put them in the YouTube recording of this. We'll put this up on our YouTube channel, so
Perfect.
people can watch it back. So we'll put them all in the description there as well. There's not any questions in the Q&A at the moment, but if you do have any, drop them in there, and we'll go through those. I have some questions. So it seems like there's a lot going on the DataDev Day. Is that all for free, or is there a fee for that day? Or
that's a great question. No, it's totally free, so you can already register. So tableau.com/datadevday, and you can register. You just need to enter. You use your email address, and the entire event is entirely free.
Are the sessions recorded as well, if you kind of want to go to a couple at the same time?
Yes, all the sessions are recorded. You can find the recording. We are going to publish it on the same page you registered, so tableau.com/datadevday. And if you're already part of the developer program, we will send you an email once we have that out there, or you're on Slack as well. You can get notified.
Right. Is there anything that people would need to do beforehand to kind of prepare for the day and make the most out of it?
I think if you listen to the entire webinar, I think you are good to go.
Yeah.
You can also join developer.tableau.com, and we also publish track content. So we have a DataDev project, and it's taking approximately 55 minutes. I know it's really precise, but this estimation they gave us. So you just need 55 minutes of your time, and you can go over the trailhead content. Is going to give you another high-level view of all our APIs and developer tools and use cases. And it's good to have that as a baggage. But honestly, if you go and all the sessions, you have different levels for each sessions. So just pick the one you think that you are like more comfortable with.
Great. And when I think that's all my questions kind of on the DataDev Day itself. With the hackathon, you mentioned that that's closing in a couple of weeks. I think it's the 1st of June. When will the winner be announced for that?
That's a great question. So we are going to announce it. I think now I have a slight doubt. June 7, I think that's the date.
Okay.
So I think you have to submit the first, and at the end of the week, following week, we announce the winner.
Right. Cool. So there's a little bit of a delay, bit of suspense built. And then...
Yes. I mean, we are really lucky. We just updated the judges. So we are really extremely honored that we have VPs of engineering and product management judging the hackathon. So we just need time to get together and be sure to review all the submissions.
That makes sense. Cool. I think that's all the questions I had. Again, thank you so much for taking us through that. Like I said, we'll put the YouTube video up and share it with everyone that's registered to this event. So I'm sure a lot of people will find that useful.
Thank you for having me, and I will see you May 20th, so this Thursday, hopefully.
Looking forward to it. Again, thank you so much for joining, and all the links and things that you mentioned, as I said, we'll put in the description.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.